Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is Am I the Astronaut? For my response when my sister's husband commented on my husband's manhood. My husband has been sick for a few months now and recently had a surgery. My parents hosted dinner for him and invited the whole family. My sister's husband, Mike, is the tell it as it is type of man. Basically, the brutally honest type. My sister says she loves him for his honesty, but because of it, we've had issues in the past. After dinner, we were sitting down while my husband was in another room. He was getting some rest. Mike looked at me and asked if my husband was still good in bed, because he has read that when men get sick, their performance would get lower. I was floored by his question. Everyone was looking at me in silence. It was absolutely awkward. My sister smiled at me as a sign to let it go, but instead I responded, well, at least better than men who can't even impregnate their women. Oh, shit. I mean, he's brozo, but boy, did OP just get right down on his level and be like, you want to play in the mud? I'll play in the mud, motherfucker. Here we go. Now, this is where I might be the asshole. Mike and my sister have suffered from infertility for 10 years, and it's on Mike's side. This response caused a huge argument, and although Mike stormed off and didn't say anything, my sister went off calling me abhorrent and shaming me for going low and using her husband's infertility against him. I told her he insulted my husband's manhood, but she said I took this whole thing out of context and made it personal, since he was just talking about men in general. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He specifically asked about OP's husband. He wasn't talking about men in general. He used his research as a reference. He cited it. He wasn't talking about all men in general. After the argument, she and Mike left, and my mom demanded that I apologize. My husband didn't even know what we were arguing about. Mom told him I was arguing with my sister over dessert. I mean, sort of. Mom said I was in the wrong for hurting my sister's feelings with what I said, and told me to apologize, but I still refused. Am I the astronaut? Okay, so yeah, why is he asking this question? It's an inappropriate question. It crossed a line. Did it warrant the response of pressing a button that OP knew was there? And it is a very, very sensitive button, not just to him, but to the both of them. Did it warrant the response? The cookie making chicken mama said, yes, it did. I think she was justified here because it crossed a line immediately, so she crossed a line right back, right? Now, I don't know that I would have done the same thing, but I think she's justified in this response. Tater, what do you think? Tater thoughts that she's ready. She's like, she's marching on up here. She is ready.
No.
Come on. You have a what?
I have a question because she says that this, her brother-in-law is the tell it as it is type of man. So he's blunt, brutal honesty. I think that's just I'm brutally honest as I'm going to say whatever I want and you can't be offended because that's just who I am. But here's the thing. He's been brutally honest for 10 plus years. And I think she's had enough. And so this comment, while extreme, may put a stop to the brutally honest bullshit that this guy is throwing out.
Pain
in their
creates
family.
change. And this finally got through to him because he got pissed and left.
I would say this probably wasn't the first time that he's been offensive, and this was the time that he crossed a major line talking. Her husband is sick, I'm assuming from cancer, or something of that nature, something of that seriousness, and he crossed a line, and she crossed the line with him. But how many times before this did he cross that line? And in that moment, like, he was if you're gonna dish it out, you have to be able to take it too. And the sister getting upset is the same thing as her getting upset. So it's like potato, in my opinion.
So thinking of this in the context of him being a dick for 10 years makes it a lot more okay in my mind. I do think like the infertility topic is one of those, it's the nuke button, right? It's the like, you need 2 keys, unlock this, only when you're absolutely certain, and it is like you have no other alternative, and still I probably wouldn't do it, but like that's a BFD. And looking at it in the context of 10 years definitely has a lot to do with it. And I think we would all feel a lot better about OP's decision here if we had more of the context of the shit that he had done in the past, but we can assume it was bad enough to warrant this. So that's...
He seems like an asshole. Nobody that was a kind person would ask about your sex life if your partner was sick. Like, that's a weird thing to ask about. And everyone's saying he played in the mud. He went there first and she followed him. And you can't get pissed if you're going to dish it out.
Yeah.
And the sister getting pissed. Yeah, it's a touchy subject. It's a hurtful subject. If someone said this to me, like, I would be hurt by that. But if I said something equally disturbing, then I wouldn't not expect it to come flying at me.
Yeah.
Flungy.
Came flunging.
Flung it right at her.
Came flunging. And matching energy is sometimes the only way that people will listen.
Bingo.
And he, in this case, I think that was the case. And if she is like, okay, you've finally gone too far, now I'm going to match energy in the hopes that this shit will stop. In the context of that it's a play. Yes, Tater?
No, this comment.
Said Vic, he's infertile, so he was projecting, hoping the husband was not as manly. You know, I thought about this. I thought about like him even using this as a topic that he's just going to joke about is probably a projection of his own insecurity here, right? It's a projection, but it doesn't matter. It's not okay, and now he knows that. Now he knows.